Let's go on to the differences between contracts versus liens, and I get these questions a lot. Your contract provides you with the right to payment. Okay, it tells you about how you're going to get paid. It tells you about your scope of work. Ideally, you've got terms and conditions in there that protect you. The lien acts as the security for that payment. Okay, and I mentioned at the onset it's very similar to a promissory note and a mortgage. Okay, the lien is the mortgage, the note is the contract. Another thing to keep in mind is just like a bank can either sue on the mortgage or the note, you can sue on either the lien or the contract or both, depending on what you want to do. So if the house doesn't have any equity in it, you might want to focus solely on the breach of contract side of it. If there's a lot of equity in it, then you might want to focus on the lien claim. In reality, what happens is you end up filing suit under both claims, breach of contract and lien foreclosure. So how do you get a lien? Well, there's a lot of different things that you got to take into account. Okay, first is, what is a lien? Let's start at the very basics. Well, it's a statutory form. It's usually a one-page or a two-page form. The current form has warning at the top, and I usually try to keep it on one-page or two-page max. This form can be found in Chapter 713, and pretty much every form that I mentioned today is within that section, within that chapter, 713. The claim of lien itself, there's a lot of different things that you need to fill in here, and you should take it very seriously. One of the things that contractors screw up a lot when they're actually preparing the claim of lien is that they don't properly take into account the lienable services, what materials, work, and services are actually performed. What kind of things can you include in your lien? Well, obviously materials that are supplied and incorporated into the project. Okay, that's an obvious one. The labor that you provided for the project, whatever work you did for that project or services that you provided. Architects, engineers, geotechs, land surveyors, they can lien for their professional services. That's a special category of lien, a professional services lien. The one thing to keep in mind, though, is it's got to be permanent in nature. Okay, you cannot have something that's not permanent in nature. It must be a fixture or a permanent improvement to the property. I would love to be able to go back in time and lien my father for all the yard work I did. Unfortunately, you can't do that because it is not a permanent improvement to the property. Some other things to keep in mind: trucking costs to ship an item to a subcontractor, not lienable. Okay, you can't lien for that. Expert cost, home office overhead, delay damages, lost profit on work that you didn't do, not lienable. One thing that I see a lot of suppliers make a mistake on is they include a lien fee. Okay, a lien fee of $250 or whatever it might be. That is not a lienable item. Now, you can add finance charges, but I always try to be as conservative as possible because this is a recorded document that impairs the property. So you want to make sure that you're being as conservative as possible in your calculations.